Let's set up your teaching library using the Teaching Archive plugin. Once you have downloaded the plugin, you will see the zip file in your Downloads folder. Then on WordPress, you can navigate to Plugins and select Add Plugin. Then in the top left corner, click Upload Plugin and browse to your Downloads folder and select the zip file and click Open. You can then click Install Now, and once it's installed, you can click Activate Plugin. Now that it's activated, we can see the Teaching Archive plugin on the left panel. Now we can follow these instructions to get started. Below, you'll see the naming convention that is required for these files to work properly. And we can also purge all the teaching data if you ever need to start over. So let's get started. First, we need to rename the teaching files. So that is the one caveat to this whole process, the one shortcoming. Renaming all the files can take a bit of time if you have thousands like I did. So it's a good afternoon's worth of work, but much faster than linking them all manually and secure for the future now that they are all named the same way. And first up, we're just going to do this simple rename. So what I'm actually going to do is just copy this example file name here from Amos, and I'm going to paste it onto 2 John chapter 1. And then what I'll do is I will replace the book number with the correct book number, which is 63, and then 2JO, which is the correct abbreviation for the book, and then the starting chapter and starting verse is correct, and I'll just change the year date to 2002. And we're done. But then when it comes to this much larger folder of Hebrews, this would take a very long time to go through each of these manually. So we can use this application here called Bulk Rename Utility. And what I like to do is I like to do the same thing we just did. Copy the example file name and paste it into the first one, and then adjust it to match Hebrews. So this is the year 2015, starting from chapter 1, verse 1, and HEB is the abbreviation, and 58 is the book number. So now, if I go back to Bulk Rename Utility, I can use this as a reference for what the rest of them are supposed to look like. So I can see it at the bottom here. Now, I'm going to select all the rest of them and go through and use some of these options that are here in the application to replace, say, Hebrews space with instead the book number and then the abbreviation and then a dash, because that is the way the file naming convention works. And I'll even add a 0 there as well. And then as I take a look to where they stand now and what else they need, I can see that these need one more 0. So I'm just going to select these few that don't have the 3 numbers in the chapter and change it to have an extra 0 so that it's 007, 004 for the chapters here. Now I'm going to turn that off and go to the suffix and add a -2015 suffix to all of the files. And now it's just fixing the verse. So the verse now also needs 3 digits there, depending on where the teaching starts. And I'll just go through and add 2 zeros to each of them. And for a couple of them, that was too much. So I'll go back through, take away 1 0, and now it is correct. So you can see I now put them all into one folder, one massive folder of all the teachings that we have. So coming back to the instructions, I can see that the next thing to do is to upload them to an online storage zone. So you might have a CDN like we do already set up, a content delivery network where files for your site are hosted. And if you don't have a CDN you are currently using, I do definitely recommend Bunny CDN. It is very easy to set up, very easy to use, and extremely cheap. It's probably been about $1 to $1.50 a month for all of our storage and access of the storage. And now once we have those files uploaded, we can come back to our plugin and we can link to the storage location or the pull zone. And so basically, if we just come to one of these files and open it up, we can see its link, and whatever comes before the file name, that's what we're going to want to copy. So I'm just going to go ahead and copy the whole thing, come back into here and paste it, and then delete the file name itself. And that is our base URL that all the file names will be appended to so that it is linking to the correct files. And we can click Save Settings. And now back in our dashboard, we can see the option to bulk add teachings. And this will allow us to scan all the files that you just named, and it will auto-generate the data table. So going to my downloads folder and to the CC Borrego teachings folder that has all of them in it. Now you can't see them here, but they are there. So I'm going to click upload, and it found all 1600 teachings. And I'm actually using the same folder for both my slides and my teachings, so it's the same folder. You can see the numbers here of how many PDF files it found and how many audio files it found. And now I will click add these teachings, and it's that fast. It's extremely quick. Now if I go back to the dashboard, I will see them all here. So 1600 teachings, 1300 Bible teachings, and then a few extras. And you can see them listed here by year. And then you can also see all of the teachings in the teachings tab, where there's 33 pages of teachings in this data table. And you can see that some of them are duplicates, and this isn't an error. This is because they have been taught once in 2008 and once in 2018 for Romans here. And of course, you can easily add your weekly sermons here with add teaching. So I'll just show you our process for that. So I have an example of teaching here as if this was last week's. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to open up BunnyCDN and drag the file in there. And even while that file is uploading, I can come over here and copy the name of our teaching and click add teaching and just paste the file name right in there. And it does have slides, so I'm going to have has slides checked and click add teaching. And there it is. Okay, so let's add the teaching archive block to our website. So I'm using Elementor as my site builder, but you could do this with WordPress or using the shortcode, which is just teaching_archive. But for this, I'm going to scroll down, grab the teaching archive block and drag it in. And there it is. Now I'm inside my other container, but if I drag it out, it will spread out a bit more. And you can see we have a couple of options here. You can toggle whether you want to show topical series, guest speakers, books of the Bible. If maybe you don't want to have guest speakers as an option on here, you're just going to be doing books of the Bible or maybe just topical series, you can eliminate some of those. You can also change the color. This will automatically follow your site's color, but you can change it to something else here as well. And then if we preview it, here you can see all these books of the Bible populated because we have taught them. And then these chapters have populated because we have taught them as well. We also have the ability to change the year. So if we taught through this book of the Bible twice, we can change the year. And we also have the View Slides button here, which will open up the PDF in a new window. And if there are no slides available for a teaching, so for a number of our older teachings, there are no slides available, it will appear grayed out and it will be unclickable. So it won't send you to a 404 page. It will just be not available for that particular teaching. And that's it. That's the plugin. If you have any questions or a feature you'd like to see added, please don't hesitate to let me know. You can leave a comment or contact me directly through my website, and you can purchase the plugin using the link below.